Are you there?
Of course I'm here.
In today's He-Man episode review, I'll be taking a look at 2 episodes which feature the Temple of the Sun as a central location. These are the Temple of the Sun from Season 1 and Trouble's Middle Name from Season 2. Now, you would think that because these episodes both take place at the Temple of the Sun, that they would be somehow related, but nope. Both of these episodes feature the temple in completely different ways and also in a way that completely ignores the other one. So, which one is canon? Well, I'll review the episodes and leave it up to your discretion. The first episode features a one-off villain called Nepthu, who seeks the Sun Scarab from the temple. When he gets it, he turns buff and vaguely Egyptian-looking. However, he immediately swears to use his power to take over Eternia. And of course, the sorceress just happens to be flying over the sands of time when this is all going down and gets captured. She contacts Adam telepathically and says she was investigating strange magic in the desert. Yeah, sure, sorceress. So this is when He-Man and Man-at-Arms set off to rescue the sorceress from Neptune. As an added annoyance though, Cringer doesn't want to become Battle Cat, and so just complains a lot until the heroes fight a giant scorpion, which He-Man traps by rubbing the desert sand so hard it turns into glass and makes a cage for the scorpion. Now, I don't get what's up with this Cringer Bee storyline. It's fine that he's asserting himself for once, but it really comes at an awkward moment, and he just buckles as soon as the heroes run into trouble. It would have been nice to actually see Cringer do something heroic. He has actually done that before, but now it just comes off as a bit of a throwaway moment. Finally, He-Man faces off against Nepthu and his sand creatures. Then Man-at-Arms manages to nab the scarab from him, and then He-Man destroys it, taking Nepthu's powers away. Now, I kinda want to like this episode, since there's a simplicity and a clear-cut intention to it, which is what I tend to like about Season 1 episodes, and Nepthu could have been a pretty cool villain. Compared to the other episode, the stakes are also rather high, with this being another episode where the sorceress is captured, though honestly, it's not really the best episode with this particular plot setup, even from Season 1. And unfortunately, Nepthu really doesn't come back either. That, along with the rather weak ending, kinda ruins the episode a little bit, even if it does have a few good highlights. But I also don't like that Nepthu's army is just composed of the recolors of the stone monsters we've seen in countless other He-Man episodes before this. Then we come to Trouble's Middle Name. Now, whereas the temple was abandoned in the previous episode, in the Season 2 episode, which was written by J. Michael Straczynski, the temple is inhabited by this priest guy and his assistant. They apparently grant wishes to anyone who is brave enough to come to the desert by using the power of the Sunstone. At the start of the episode, they help out this guy with a pretty weird name even by Eternian standards.
I am called Volary.
Give us your answer, Volary.
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 However, immediately after helping the guy, the Sunstone begins to lose power, so the priest and the assistant get ready to begin the ceremony of the sun. To safeguard the ceremony, they've asked He-Man to help, but on the way, He-Man and crew open a giant bottle and release a troublesome Trollan from the other side of Trolla. He introduces himself as Prankster, but that's not his real name. I'll get back to that in a minute. However, He-Man's presence also attracts Negator, who's apparently moved his evil lair inside one of Trapjaw's robot spiders. Prankster keeps slowing down the heroes with annoying pranks, which Negator enhances with his own powers. Since when did Negator learn to transmutate things? The heroes remain oblivious that Negator is following them until they get to the temple and Negator sneaks in, with a hook and rope. He manages to get his hands on the Sunstone, which is when Prankster accidentally does something right and causes clouds to appear with the idea of ruining the sun ceremony. Negator notices his powers fading, so he shoots it out of the Sunstone into the sky and causes a quote-unquote energy storm. He-Man flies up, absorbs the storm, shoots it back into the Sunstone, and Negator becomes fused with the stone. Phew! And then, after the fact, Adam tricks Prankster to get angry at his robot, which is when he accidentally says his name out loud. Now, you might remember this episode from my lost What Does Orko Really Look Like video, and even though I kinda want to believe Prankster gives us a good idea about that, the fact that he comes from the other side of Trolla really kinda bugs me. Also, there's a more general thing about Prankster which really annoys me, which is the fact that he's literally nothing more than the He-Man version of Mr. Mixapilk. right down to forcing him to say his real name to make him go back to Trolla. Now, I do love the level of detail in Prankster's animation, and I do think he adds a bit of nice comedy to the mix, but the plagiarism is so obvious that it's not even really funny. And yes, this episode is Negator's return appearance, even though I said that he only appeared in the game plan. Whoops, I made a mistake on the internet. Well, wouldn't be the first time. Now, I do actually like Negator. In fact, he was probably my favorite part of Game Plan, but the only real resemblance he has to his former appearance is that he still absorbs and shoots energy. I'm a little sad his scheme doesn't involve video games this time, but I do have to say his exit is quite a bit more dramatic in this episode, as he gets absorbed into the Sunstone, which is, honestly, kind of frightening. Now, as an episode on the whole, I wouldn't really consider Trouble's Middle Name to be one of the outstanding episodes of Season 2, but I actually think the episode gets progressively better as it goes on. Whereas I think the Temple of the Sun starts well and then has a rather underwhelming finale. So neither episode is perfect, but I guess I prefer Trouble's Middle Name just a little bit more, just because its conclusion is a hell of a lot more interesting. So those are the reviews. Hope you enjoyed them. I'm TheHande, and remember, I have the power, so can you.